And a very, very warm welcome along, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in to Samake and Pokehoods over on Twitch. Thank you for the daily check-in and the tackle. And over on YouTube, welcome in to Ryu, to Music Haven, to Benjamin, to Gemma, to Chad, and to Deadpool. I hope everyone is having a fantastic start to the week. I have had a good start to the week. Just got a SuperMON run finished before going live. It was a little bit tight for time, which is why this stream wasn't pre-planned, but we have a lot of SuperMON runs coming up on the pre-recorded videos. I am now backlogged all the way to the 24th, so that's like 4 SuperMON runs. After this stream, we have a channel member-only SuperMON run. I say channel member-only, it's going to come up a little bit sooner for channel members, coming on after stream today. And it's out with the new and in with the old. The graphics are back to how they were pre 6 months ago. I did a little 6-month trial of the very, very bright white graphics. I didn't really like how they were in the end, so we've swapped back to our Legends Arceus inspired graphics instead. Now today, first up on the chopping block is going to be SNORLAX. How far do we think we're going to make it with SNORLAX, and what moves do we want to give it? That is the first question. As I stifle a hiccup, I had my dinner about 4 minutes ago. I wolfed down. You'll never guess what I wolfed down. It was a Tesco sweet chili chicken wrap. So SNORLAX is our Pokemon we're running today, and its learn set is big enough that it is the maximum size I can fit on the overlay. We've got everything from Tackle down to Lick. We've got to pick 4 of those moves, and they are the moves that we will be running with. Before we get on to the moves, I do just want to show you where we left off last time. Arbok finished in 8th place with 27 points, getting knocked out by Jasmine. That little icon in the top hand corner says they were stream Pokemon. So we've done 11 SuperMON runs on stream already so far, and I think we can do an awful lot more today. Interesting that people are saying Curse, Slam, Rest and Shadow Ball. I had a vague idea of what I wanted to go in with when I started this one, because I was thinking we're probably good enough to not need to boost our attack anymore. And thank you, Samake, for your daily check-in as well. We've got 110 in attack. I don't think we're going to need to boost that for anything really, because we've got a lot of defense and special defense as well. So I was thinking Body Slam for our main normal stab, then Earthquake to deal with Morty and his Ghost and Poison types. We could probably go for Flamethrower to just melt Jasmine, because 65 is not that bad. And then we would have Ice Beam for Lance. Rest Curse is an option in SuperMON. I just don't think it's the option for this Pokemon, because you've got to think we only get 1 Mint Berry as well in Johto. We get that one by the Moo Moo Farm. Our second Mint Berry isn't until we get to Pewter City, and we are not going to be cheesing the berries. So we are only going to be limited to that 1 Mint Berry. And with our defense being kind of low, 65's not terrible, it's just outclassed by everything else. I don't think we would be able to survive enough turns. We could do something like Rest Body Slam, Rest Belly Drum, Earthquake and Body Slam. Rest, Slam, Sleep Talk and Flamethrower. Yeah. Do we learn Slam as a Snorlax? Thank goodness for that, we don't. Slam, not Body Slam, but just Slam on its own, it is the worst offensive move I think Pokemon has ever introduced. It is just terrible in every single way. Now, the one thing that I think we are all agreed on is Body Slam is vital. Constrict is bad, but it drops your speed. Slam is 75% accurate and like 12 base power or something stupid like that. Slam might do damage if it hits, but it never bloody hits. Takedown's not bad. Snowy actually did a timed run, where Takedown was useful. Welcome in, Kanbei. Defense Curl and Rollout. Interesting. Defense Curl Rollout could do as well, but it is not safe. I think I'm prepared to redo Snorlax right here, right now, if the gut instinct isn't right. So I'll go with my gut instincts first, see how far we get, And then I will go with all of your ideas for the second run, because we'll inevitably go down somewhere I wasn't expecting. For rock types, the Rock Slide TM from Gen 1 is absolutely vital. Thank you for 31 months as well. I do keep meaning to have some kind of celebration on screen. I keep forgetting. If someone's in my Discord, could you please put a little note to remind me to add the membership renewals into Mix It Up, please? And in fact, we've not plugged the Discord in a while. Let me get an invite link for all you lovely people. And then I promise we will get into the run. So if you do want to keep up with stuff on the Discord, there is a link. I will plonk it in both Twitch and YouTube. And who has tagged me? Thank you, Ryu, for the tag. That is exactly what I wanted. Let's manually unpin that. I got your shouty notification. I don't think we need to boost our attack with belly drum. Because we're not against the clock, I think we can afford the occasional two-turn. That is a very good point. Why did Discord name themselves after something that causes problems? Let's get this run underway. And how are we all feeling about the old creamy yellowy graphics back out for another run? I'm very happy to see the return of the Legends Arceus style graphics. They are a lot easier on the eyes, and I actually think they're a lot easier to read as well. Congratulations on your double shiny Shuppet, Gemma. I do just want to very quickly figure out which bits of the overlay are where. So we've got this one, this one. I'm going to want to move that. Going to want to move that. And where are the retries? There they are. Because this not being centered is bugging me. There we go. Much better. Exactly, bright white can really glare. And I think that was the issue, because I looked at one of my videos in bed overnight. Not that I watch my own content, but somebody had done a comment and I wanted to address it pretty quickly. And I was like, this is hurting my eyes. So going back to the softer colour palette, the rounded edges, we're not going to be chopping ourselves on the overlay anymore. And we do also have a fresh channel emotes both here and on Twitch, in honour of the next SuperMON run that's going to be released for channel members. That's being released tonight. And that is the Angry Magcargo. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I might cry at the end of that one. And those of you who've seen the lion's share of my videos know I'm normally very stoic and don't really get too emotional. But that run, it really got to me. Blue light is very much you're not sleeping. That's why the amount of blue on the overlay is very, very minimal. I tell you what, Kanbei, I will try a heckle SuperMON run. Not on stream, but I will try and fit one in probably some point in December. I've got a few extra video slots in December, so we can give it a go. Oh, I'm up for the challenge. You know me, I like it hard. I just don't know how well the video will go together. Might have been a pun. Who doesn't like it hard? Some people don't like it hard. Some people like it soft. But generally, I try and avoid overlapping types too much as well, and we've done Rhydon in recent times, which was a rock type. And we did Parasect, which is a bug. I'm actually very excited to try Shuckle the more I think about it. Because we won't be starting with just Constrict. Oh, that's why I'm talking about December, Kanbei. By the time we get to December, November's runs are in the past. Although I am doubling up with normal types. I've not tried Persian yet. I can imagine you'll get one shot by Chuck. Although we do have a Persian video coming out. We've got Persian's Unbound Timed Run coming out next week, I do believe. Or is it tomorrow? It might be tomorrow. And then it could be Crobat next week. I don't know any days. Because I've changed how all the videos are released. And at the moment we're only doing one timed run a week. My schedule's completely out of whack. We might not have the best physical defense in the world, but we've got more HP than any other Pokemon barring maybe Blissey and Wigglytuff. So we can tank those physical hits very, very well. I do intend to put backports on SuperMON. In fact, the next run after this is going to be a backport. We're going to run Salamence as our next one. Yes, I pronounce H as HP as HP. The primary focus is going to be on the vanilla Pokemon. But I will do the occasional backport. They do take a little bit of efforts to do. I slept for 17 hours last night. So I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. So I've had a good wadge of sleep. It's out of whack, and I'm getting more sleep now than I should be. But I am very well rested. I recorded Raticate this morning. Got its run done and edited with the music done as well. So that's ready to render this evening. We've got Magcargo coming out in the morning. Well, later on today. And I have tomorrow's recording all set up ready to go. The scary thing is, I got sleep the night before. It's just my body and sleep has a very, very weird relationship. I'm not sure if this happened last time we were on stream, but now we don't get the eggs, so that's removed another way of us potentially cheesing the game and getting an extra Pokemon. And now we get to beat up more Bellsprout. I think I cover that, not necessarily, maybe actually in a video you've seen, because you are a HM friend. But I have noticed that special attackers do get a real chance to shine. Exactly, when your immune system is completely attacking yourself. Like those of us with Crohn's have. You do constantly need a lot of sleep when you're in flare-up, and I am absolutely in quite an extended flare-up at the moment. Having to go full dose on the old Crohn's meds. I'm never evil to Bellsprout. I love Bellsprout. A Pokemon like Snorlax also is a hell of a lot of fun. It's just nice seeing Snorlax fling itself into pretty much any opponent you could come by and knocking it out in one. I don't lie. I just occasionally gas lamp. The amount of wildlife that is littering the ground because of us and our SuperMON. Snorlax is part of the Gen 2 meta, that is for absolute sure. Ooh, the comfy chair is definitely a good idea. Where is my Retro Watch capture? Needed to move it down a couple of lines. I'm sure I will recover. As with a lot of chronic things, it's all cyclical, isn't it? And what goes down has to go up eventually, hopefully. At least I'll kid myself into feeling that way. I'd rather have the flare-up now than at Christmas as well. Christmas 2022, I was in such a bad way. Like, I think I took 3.5 months off the channel. Because of how ill I got. Couldn't even enjoy my Christmas dinner that year. I think I had 2 bites of the entire plate and was like, no. Although that serves me right for trying to eat the plate, I suppose, as opposed to the food on the plate. Yeah, Christmas, the very traditionally food-heavy holiday. If you've got digestive issues or immune system issues, it is so blooming stressful. Because a lot of the time, you feel like you're missing out, or you're, even worse, being rude if you're not eating everything over those holidays. We don't really do Thanksgiving in the UK. I hope you make an exception, being a misanthrope, for everybody in this chat, Benjamin. I did initially read it as misogynist, which is why I went quiet there. I was thinking, what a strange thing to admit in a live stream chat. Oh, like, I'm a misogynist. Please don't clip that out of context. I love being dyslexic sometimes because it leads to some very, very fun accidental comedy. IBS is horrible as well. Oh, I totally get you. I don't like gatherings. I don't like being in person with people for too long. Internet is good. Internet is fun. Internet is chill. If you did clip something, Ryu, I'd have your guts for garters. What an oddly grim saying that people say a lot to kids. I couldn't imagine not working from home now. Admittedly, it'd be very strange to do this kind of work in an office. I mean, you know me, Ryu, I'm very boombarder when I move. So I just cause enough seismic activity to get you off balance. I'll tell you what, should we have a day of S Pokemon today? So we'll do Snorlax, we'll do Salamence, we might do Steelix as well. Squidgy used Earthquake. Definitely did in 2002. I am not a ground type. I do not get Earthquake Stab. I'm very much a normal type. Kind of somewhere in between an Ursaring and a Snorlax. Oh, I like the phrase, beat the devil out of it. You get stabbed on knife type. Is that because you're the Kate's crew blader? No, I'm not Ursaluna. That's a ground type. Right, it's time for Bugsy. He is worth 3 points. I think we're going to get them. Goodbye, Metapod. Goodbye, Kakuna. Hello, Scyther. Goodbye, Scyther. Thank you for the whole 16 HP worth of damage. You're the cake man. Very, very fair. Be a little bit dreepy if you were a Dragapult. Hypnosis misses. We hit through confusion. And we two-shot the Bayleaf. Let's get those repels up to a more sensible position now. And we can make our way through the forest. I have just realised as well, I've slightly messed up on the moves, but we haven't used the move yet. I put the Thunderbolt instead of Flamethrower. So we'll fix that. I think I know the one you're on about, Kanbei. I will double check actually when that one goes live. Oh, that one's out on Friday. On Friday, everyone is going to be getting the Ride On SuperMON challenge. I do remember your comment, I just couldn't remember which video it was. They all meld into one after a while. So we've got Rhydon, Starmie, and Magcargo as our next 3 SuperMON videos. And then Raticate to be uploaded once it has rendered. It was not answered in the video, if it's the question I'm thinking of. I think Star You, Star Me, and then a branched Evo of either Star We or Star Us would have been good. Now we're going to flex on these by body slamming. The Rascades did have perfect DVs. It was in the top percentage. I like Mega Starmie. It knows it's ridiculous. Honestly, though, with the amount of translations of Pokemon names, it doesn't matter if there's a Staros in Japanese. Because, for the most part, the different audiences don't cross-pollinate between versions. Mega Starmie is a leggy thing. And once again, here, you can no longer buy Pokemon. So that is another loophole closed. Slowly but surely, I am going through all the different ways that everybody has tried to break SuperMON to get extra Pokemon, and we are closing those loopholes. Oh no, Magnitude 7 did a teeny tiny bit of damage. Whatever will we do? Oh no, Growl reduced our attack. Whatever will we do? Oh, thank you, Kanbei, for the £5 super chat. Alerts, please. Thank you. There you go. You get the Rattata as well. I know, I can't believe they gave Starmie one of my all-time top favourite Pokemon. They gave it a Mega. I love Starmie. Starmie is a very good Pokemon. Starmie is one of the best of the best of the best. Everybody should have... Was I saying Starmie that entire time? Skarmory, rather, is a brilliant Pokemon. Everybody should have a Skarmory. It is not a terrible Pokemon in the slightest. It is a brilliant still flying type. I wish I did it on purpose. I do genuinely like Starmie though. Like, got no issues with Starmie. Top tier Pokemon. Skarmory, on the other hand, can get in the bin. Oh, absolutely. If Bulk Up existed in Gen 2, this Pokemon would be unstoppable. Here comes... No, actually, we've bumped into this lass. She's triple Jigglypuff, isn't she? The fact that somebody got paid to make that sound that I will not try and emulate. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? Sucks to be Whitney. Playing badge acquired, getting up to 14 points there on the board. And yes, that is Thrigglypuff. One Squirty bottle acquired. Thank you for your very kind words about the videos. I'm very glad you enjoy them. Now, where to go next is the question. The trouble with 3Drill versus Thrigglypuff is 3Drill evolved naturally by virtue of us always being caught by him. Yes, French Starmie does sound very much like it's playing tennis. I wish I hadn't just recorded the Starmie video because I'd call it Wimbledon. I think we do Lake. Actually, because we are not against the clock, we can enter into the Pokemon Center. I've never been to Wimbledon, actually. I did want to go when I was younger. Victory Bell's Cry is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's loud, it's obnoxious, but it works. I don't want to spoil anything, Benjamin, but I will say we take our revenge. We don't have too long to wait for that video either. I do like going around the lake for our levels. I'm doing redos as and when inspiration is hitting me. Welcome in, Hannah. I am very well today, but the more important question is, how are you? I hope you're doing very, very well here on this Tuesday afternoon. It's afternoon for me anyway. Now let's beat up some Gyarados. In fact, while we're here... Oh, we don't have Surf yet, never mind. Getting all ahead of myself. Let's do full items here at the Lake of Rage. Good morning to you as well, Rockley. Who my favourite legendary birds are? Ho-Oh, Lugia and Moltres are yours. Well, I'm really quite a fan of Ho-Oh. Gold was my first Pokemon game, so I'm very, very fond of Ho-Oh. I like Articuno as well, even if it does have a 4 times weakness to rock. Because I really like the ice type. But I wouldn't have Ho-Oh and Articuno in the same room together because I think things might get a little bit heated on Ho-Oh's side, and Articuno would give a very, very frosty reception. How are we doing level-wise? 23. I think we do Kimono now. Oh god, starting with yellow, I'm very surprised that you managed to endure the Pokemon franchise, because Pikachu is not good for your only Pokemon. Chilly reception is Slowking, which is why I very quickly changed it to Frosty reception. Oh, that would be an interesting way to Mega Snorlax, and it definitely would get people talking. And Game Freak aren't beyond making Pokemon skinnier. Just look at Pikachu these days. He's more like a Zen Pikachu. We get HMO3, we get the Raft as well. That means that after we've got Morty's badge, we will be able to surf. I agree that Snorlax should be chonky. Snorlax is one of very few Gen 1 Pokemon actually that does stand the test of time, and it can still be used in the meta. But that does definitely make it a prime candidate to become one of the new Megas, if they do add more Megas. Oh, why would you... I have aphantasia, so I can't picture things in my mind. But even I am grossed out at the idea of a Snorlax with bloody sausage nipples. Why would you do that, Kanbei? Who hurt you? I think Game Freak's entire mantra at this point is creating very weird decisions. You'll get your coat. We are in the UK, so it's a good idea anyway, because it's likely raining. I think Kanbei's already been hurt enough, if those are the things going through his brain. We need to protect Kanbei, not hurt him. You want proper autumn weather? There's a chance for that next week. It's all very much literally up in the air at the moment with the weather for next week here in the UK. We're going to be in a battle zone between two different air masses, and nobody's quite sure which is going to win out. You would have to be crazy to join Team 11212. You're not wrong. When Gold and Silver came out, I got Gold. And then I got Silver later and thought I had a knockoff version of the cartridge because half of the sprites were very different. Like, I genuinely thought that even though we'd bought it from a reputable game shop, we had somehow gotten a dodgy copy. Team 112 is a very exclusive team of people, i.e. just Kanbei, who have donated £112.12 in one go to the channel in honour of the questionnaires being 11212 for their answers. Let's take on Morty. There is a vague chance we go down here. Yep, the brown Sneasel and I believe the purple Spinarak in Gold and Silver. We've had enough Gen 2 misses now that this is now a guaranteed win. Fog Badge acquired. Kanbei does donate to the channel very often, and I am incredibly grateful for any and all donations, but they're never expected from anyone at all. Oh, I forgot about the Raikou sprite. I would love an entire nation made out of dough. Probably eat it within a day. I know that you never expect anything from a donation, Kanbei, but I always try to think of at least some way to say thank you. I believe that is the case with Feraligatr. A friend of mine, Pokebroods, did a Gold or Silver, I can't remember which one, I think it was Gold, run of Feraligatr, and I did the thumbnail for him, so I recolored it to be the shiny Feraligatr. I reckon a Vatican City-sized country made of dough we could easily get through within a week. Maybe even a weekend. And if somebody wants to donate the entire GDP of China to this channel, first of all, you'll be here for a very long time, because I think the cap on YouTube donations is set to 500, but also I'd be very, very grateful. Welcome in, Vuta. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly with a hard V and not a soft V. I'm very glad you're doing fine. I am doing very well as well, thank you. Yes, the Vatican City is its own city, is its own country. There are two microstates within Italy's borders. You have the Vatican City and you have San Marino. They are both landlocked microstates as well, I believe. I'm so glad this run's not against the clock. My movement has been terrible in this one. Oh, you're Dutch? I will have to find out from one of my Dutch friends how to exactly pronounce your name. Vota? Kim, if you're listening, please plonk in phonetic pronunciation. I have tried Crystal Clear. I really enjoy Crystal Clear. I think it's a very good hack. But I was making my own ROM hack and I've recently resurrected it from the dead. So I've tried to avoid Crystal Clear for a while. Because I don't want to nick inspiration from them. My entrance sound in Kim's Discord server is her going, "Listen carefully, there is no fat in Coke." The hack is already very, very feature-filled. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do already that's extra. I showed it a little while ago when I was creating it with somebody who's no longer in the Pokémon scene, unfortunately. But there were quite harsh disagreements about how the difficulty should play out. Oh, I have real trouble with my AU sounds anyway. Because my OW sounds like an AU. Hence things like Azalea Town. There is no V in Polish. It's replaced by the letter W, and then the L with a line through it is pronounced fairly closely to our W. You want me to say Azalea Town again? You're taking the wee out of me. Now, do we do jazz next? I'm going to do a little bit of testing with the tag team here. I think we take the long route and go to Lake next. Oh, no, we don't want to buy anything. Didn't realise I'd already received the secret potion. Welcome in, Alajango. You've not missed too much so far. We've just been very much breezing along. Yeah, I'm thinking the fighting gym will be hard as well. However, we can reroute around it. With the way the level cap works in this game, we treat the level cap as personal to the gym leader. So if you're able to defeat a gym leader with a higher level cap, your level cap then just goes up to the next one anyway. We'll grab that super potion while we're here. Oh, what do you want, mate? Shane. Oh, and we get caught by the spinners. I've forgotten to disable spinners on this one. And we are getting punished. Yes, Shane upon him. Hello, Gyarados. We're here to beat you up. One red scale acquired. Lance is lying, as he does so well. I don't think we dipped into the Pokémon Center. I think you're very spot on there by calling them the weirdos of the Pokémon universe. Good morning, Food Tubes. I hope you're doing very, very well today. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. And I hope that your Tuesday is going to be very, very relaxing and very, very nice for you. You are joining us in one of the most interesting parts of this challenge. We're at the level cap, going through Mahogany Underground. because we are too much of a pansy to take on Chuck next. I got a lot of sleep. Lance is in cahoots with Team Rocket. Lance is teamed up with them. That's how he gets past it. It's all for show. They have rehearsed that Dragonite hyper beaming about 15 times. Lance is an admin. The theory is, or at least this is a theory on this channel, the theory is that Lance wanted to evolve his Dragonite early, so he teamed up with Team Rocket to get the Lake of Rage, having those weird radio signals. Because those weird radio signals are allowing Pokemon to evolve early. So he then leveled up his Dragonite there. He pretends to Hyper Beam the rockets. Lance has a lot of jobs, none of which is respectable. And then, in our channel series as well, Jasmine's a druggie. So, you know, we don't particularly like the cast of Pokemon Crystal. Oh, he considers Slowpoke's tail a prime delicacy. That is just a happy little accident on top. We do like Threedrill. Threedrill is a friend. I like Falkner and Bugsy. They're respectable. I like Whitney. She might get a little bit upset that she's lost, but she genuinely tries her best and does very well as a gym leader. I'm disappointed in Morty because he doesn't have a Mischievous. Chuck kind of falls off my radar, honestly. I forget he exists. Jazz, we know my feelings on Jazz at this point. We know my feelings on Claire as well. I do really like Karen, though, because she puts up a good fight. Disappointed in Bugsy for not using a Heracross. I get that, but I think a Heracross might be a little bit too OP for that early on in game. I would have liked to have seen him with Scyther, Sizzle, Heracross and Pinsir, maybe in place of Price. Swap their gyms around. Because let's be honest, the Ice type is so frail and fragile that it deserves to be an early game type. Exactly, Heracross would flatten early teams. That Electrode there was a bomb. Didn't do much, but it did do the kaboom. And we get a whole extra point for that. Yes, we do get the bath plug. I do like Pokemaniac Miller. The fact that I can have full recall memory of his name says how much I like him. Yeah, I think early Ice and late Bug would be fun. Technically, we only get 1 point for defeating the Rockets. And that point happens in Slowpoke Well. And even then, I'm framing it as saving Kurt. Because we get a point for getting the Clear Bell. And we get a point for freeing the Electrode. Speed hasn't held us back so far. You've got a Quillfish, haven't you? We did get the Glacier badge. And now I wish I had some Glacier mints. Trying to think where we can get some easy levels from. On the water. I completely agree there, Rockley, about what you're saying with the ice type. It had the potential to do so much more. At least they kind of made up for it by implementing freeze dry, which was one of my favourite moves to backport. Yeah, I think water should resist ice, and the other way around, ice should resist water. I'd like to see a few more mutual resistances in the game, actually. Now, there are loads of trainers around here that we never get to see. Oh, you absolute cow. PlayStation Network Sting is mean. An ice type that causes a burn would be fun. In fact, that fake Mon evolution of Jinx that I made had some kind of ice type move that would cause a burn. I think it was called something like Nasty Comment. You're exactly right there, Rockley. The Fairy type has ostensibly taken over from the Dragon type as the big meta type of the game. It was nice, though, to see Poison super effective against the second type. Let's take on Jazz. Still type specialist of Olivine City. Leads with a Magnemite. We've got a full-time super effective Earthquake. Of course it's going to go down. Steelix is next. We ignite it. It hits us with an Iron Tail. We melt it down for scrap. And we defeat Jasmine. 27 points, and our level cap now goes up to 40. I like wheezing as well. Oh, the joys of housework. I really hope that I'm at least making the housework slightly more tolerable for you. Snorlax is very, very good, and no belly drum at all today, Food Tubes. Don't think we need it. 110 in attack is getting us very, very far without having to boost. So what I do with streams, I am an habitual lurker. I will just have a stream on in the background while I'm getting on with other stuff. Especially when I'm editing the time challenges. Now, excuse me, now I'm curious to see what Chuck does here. I'm holding on to the Mint Berry because I'm assuming he will... Never mind, he did actually go for Hypnosis. Oh, telemarketers are the worst. You're not wrong, Benjamin. Chuck did lose. How off-putting is it having 7 badges on Cyanwood? We'd never get 7 badges here. No, that's the wrong item. Missing No is helping us out with Fly today, by the way. totally not because I messed up my coding. Do we have any regular repels we need to wear out? No. We'll get the ladder there. And now we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Picking up all the bits. Oh, SNORLAX is now helping us fly. That's cursed. Have you ever seen a Pokemon map with Snorlax's belly doing that before? The bath plug is Whirlpool. Towards the end of coding in all the items, I couldn't think of creative names, so I just started getting more and more ludicrous with them. Are we at an hour already? Goodness me. Let's sell some stuff that we don't need. Don't need the berry. Get rid of those 2 nuggets. Get rid of the X special and the ice heal. Oh yeah, the rental Abra is in the code as a fart jar. But I decided not to be entirely puerile. Took an hour to do the dishes. God. Right, what do we want in terms of vitamins? I think we get 3 protein, 4 calcium, and a carbose. And then we will also sell all of our TMs because we can't have them and we can't catch anything. Still annoyed about that shiny on stream. Last time, by the way. Because Pokeballs have been disabled. We couldn't catch it. And that was after we were joking as well. About encountering shinies. Before I forget, let's use all of these vitamins. Because you know what I'm like. PP up into Earthquake for this one. We'll save that HP up. Now, every hour or so, I do like to give my hands a very quick rest on the controller. You got to think, I play an awful lot of Pokemon Crystal. And I've already played 1 SuperMON run this morning. So I do like to give my hands a very quick rest, only for a couple of moments. I don't tend to go to a BRB screen these days, so we'll just have a little waffle and try and figure out our plans, maybe for the league. I like that in Crystal they at least put Teddy Ursa in the Dark Cave in the mornings between 4 AM and 12 noon. So not exactly a convenient time for most kids. But they did put it there as a 5% encounter, but then they made it a Fleamon. Wasn't wild Pokemon fleeing just randomly one of the worst mechanics they added in Generation 2? I'm very glad they didn't hold on to that. No, we don't need the Waterfall HM, but I like picking it up. For completion's sake. The weird thing about that flea mechanic, the Safari Zone's different. You go in expecting them fleeing there. But the weird thing about that flea mechanic is there are Pokemon you can't legitimately get in Generation 2 in the wild that have flea rates coded in. It is just Abrasing, but worse. You've hit the nail on the head there. I have managed to code the Safari game into Gen 2, by the way. It wasn't easy to do. But I did manage to find a way to create a little Safari Zone loop. So what we'll do is we will do our very quick shop here. I can show it sometime. You did see it on the website. Crystal Clear didn't put the actual Safari game in, did they? As far as I can remember. I was talking about Gligar earlier. There's a Gligar. Messed up my movement there. Was supposed to take a turn to the right, but I forgot, so we'll go down again. In fact, we should be taking on these battles. Because we're not at the level cap. So it's Kenji. We never see Kenji. I always forget which one of the fork in the road here we're supposed to take. Get the PP up. We'll get ourselves back to Goldenrod City. Do a very quick save. I'm going to put my controller down just for a couple of moments. I do need to rehydrate as well. Twitch, it's at this point. I'm sorry, you are going to get some adverts. We've got pre-rolls on and we don't want pre-rolls. Very quick sip of drink as well. Important to stay hydrated. And now, we need to start thinking about the Pokémon League. We need to start thinking about how we're going to take on all of those league members, especially Will, because he will confuse us. Bruno could be brutal. Karen could be vile as well. What do we think the items are we need for it? I reckon the Bitterberry could be useful for both Karen and for Will. We do have 2 Bitterberries that we can get as well. Secret Potion would be good. Oh, the pink bow could be handy. We're going to get a pink bow after the rocket section. Do we think it's worth grabbing the gold berry for Bruno? Do we think that extra 30 HP will make a difference? Because I don't think we want the Quick Claw for Bruno because he's got Mach Punch. So that means 1 turn at least of guaranteed damage. It's not that hard to get the gold berry. It's just go into the Ruins of Alph and use the Lantern. I've got to be honest, it is better for electric types though, because it's really there as a counter for Hitmontop's Dig. I also don't know if we're going to outspeed Claire's Dragonair here. That's something else I've not thought of. Let me get the trainer list up, so I can find out Claire's Dragonair speed. So we are looking at a speed stat of 66 for Claire's Dragonair. I'll tell you what, let's very quickly, because I can do this with the controller on my desk, let's very quickly get into a wild battle. 54 at the moment. It's going to be touch and go. We might just be able to make it, though. That's what I've just checked. We've got space for 3 carbos at the moment. How much money do we have? Oh, it's going to be tight. Oh, it's not going to be tight. We've got nuggets. So we've got the carbos now. Let's very quickly double check that speed stat again. 54 without the carbos. And with the carbos, 56. Not great. So hopefully we will get a few rockets up the bum, so to speak, with these next few levels. Speed really is the only thing that lets this Snorlax down. Yeah, it's going to be very tight. Oh, I don't like how expensive vitamins are either. I think if they were uncapped with the amount you could use, then the vitamins would justify the cost. Because then you've got to go and do the grind to make your Pokemon overpowered. It could be worth doing a quick Poliwag session. Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to max out before the level cap, but we could definitely try and add a little bit more speed. Ecruteak's probably our most convenient Poliwag spot. Although actually, before we do that... Oh, we did already get it, never mind. Autopiloted that one. We'll see just how much this Poliwag grind helps us. Done the Poliwag grind on a recent video as well. And there's our first Poliwhirl. There, a 10% chance. There are no EVs in Gen 2, it's all stat experience. So, we get the opposing Pokemon's base stats added onto our own stat experience total. And Poliwag has a very high base stat in speed. So by increasing our speed stat experience exponentially by beating up more and more Poliwag, then we are going to get quite a nice boost to our stats. Because Poliwag has 90 in speed, So that's faster, actually, than a lot of Pokemon we face later on in the game. I know it's not exponentially, but it feels like it. Poliwag is cute. Let's plonk Earthquake into top spot now. I do want to add a little reuse prompt to this. I did it in the ROM hack. By the way, remind me when this run finishes, either by us getting defeated or by us defeating Red. And I will open up the ROM hack to show you what I've done so far. It is very much in a half-finished state at the moment, though. Very much trying to get the features in. If we lose to Bruno, like, if we get to the league, then I will probably jump straight to Salamence and we will do Snorlax another time. Because any point after that, I kind of feel too committed to that specific Pokemon. Oh dear, pressed the wrong button. We're at 61 speed now. Something tells me we aren't going to make it. 66, I think, for a speed tie. I suppose it is Veterans Day. It's Remembrance Day here in the United Kingdom. It is going to be very, very, very close. To the point where I'm only wanting to take on the Poliwag now. All the way up to the level cap. Do we get Reflect? Oh, we do. It's hiding there, in between Mimic and Bide. Reflect could be a shout, you know. I'm very surprised that we haven't started seeing all of these fainted Poliwag floating around us in this pond. There isn't that much room in this water. Reflect is a Generation 1 TM. So, in case this is your first time watching the SuperMON challenge, the rules state that we are allowed any 4 moves that a Pokemon can legally get in Generation 2. So that can be via Generation 2 Level Up, Generation 2 TM, Generation 2 Tutor, or Generation 2 Egg moves. But then when it comes to getting, when it comes to Generation 1 Pokemon, you also get their Generation 1 TMs. Because they can be traded back and forth. So that does give us a little bit extra. For backports, I'm still undecided. Press the wrong button again there, trying to grab a drink. For backports, I'm still slightly undecided. I might have a look at the Gen 3 tutor set if they're in Gen 3. and add those to the list. But that's part of the reason why backports haven't happened yet, because there are quite a few rules that do need to be ironed out. For now, though, we are just beating up more tadpoles. I do think it was a very good shout to try and boost our speed stat experience this way. Not going to take on Poliwhirl as well because I can't remember if it slows down. But it will give us more experience regardless. And we want to be trying to battle as many Pokemon as possible. No Poliwrath in this water. Oh, Poliwrath does slow down. Fair. I knew one of them did, I just couldn't remember which one. If I could, I would Lord Cooler. But with the way the colour palette works in Gen 2, we'd have to make it bright orange. And I don't particularly fancy an Iron Brew Lake. Okay, so there's no tangible benefit to knocking out Poliwhirl. If I was doing it off stream, I probably would have gone to the early game Poliwag. Like, this is about as much grinding. 66. What is a speed of the Dragonair again? We're speed tied. We are bloomin' speed tied with Claire's Dragonair after all of that. At least we've got the maximum possible. We can't put in another Carbos. We've got 35,074 in our speed stat experience, and it locks off at about 25,000. So we have done literally all we can. Let's hope it is enough. For the Claire fight, we're not holding the Quick Claw. We're going to hold the Persecure Berry. That'll give us the best odds. Do we one-shot the Weezing? We do one-shot the Weezing. That extra grinding is coming in handy. PP heal time. Now he leads with Golbat on this one. So, purposely putting Body Slam in slot 1. Confuse Ray, not great. Oh, we're paralyzed. That's not ideal. Curse and Paralysis. It's a 1 in 4 to be fully paralyzed, and he's double crit. Was that a triple crit? The RNG despises me on streamed runs. Oh, if only I had a sweary chat goal. I know, look at that Meganium smug face. $30 points. Did better than Mischievous up to this stage. Still can't believe that Meganium is our top spot. We could have won that if I had gone in with a better berry, to be fair. That one was partly on me. What happens if SNORLAX is defeated? We lose the run. The run is now over. Meganium did not win. We haven't had a win on stream yet, which is kind of the point of this. It's not supposed to be easy. Yeah, we can claim the rival is using Mega Meganium. And yes, we move on to another run in just a moment or two. We lost to Whitney with For Alligator. I'm just making up the SALAMENCE files. I forgot to do it before we came on air. So we'll just take a moment or two for me to get everything ready and together. In the meantime, I did promise to show you bits that I'd done in the ROM hack. So in just a second, we'll have a little explore. And then we will get on with SALAMENCE as well today. There's always so much to do when you swap Pokemon midstream. Right, people wanted to see features. First feature, new way of encountering Pokemon. Second feature you might have seen there was the quick battle. I added a whole new custom area to replace the battle tower. Daily Friend Safari, taking inspiration from the Friend Safari in Generation 6. You get 3 different Pokemon that change at midnight. And this is also where the Safari game comes in. So you can see that Jumpluff fled. Oh, we've got Mareep as well today. There will be changes to the story, eventually. In fact, there is a change that I've already played through. Where if we go to Ekritique, oh, the Safari's living on a wing and a prayer. There is a new area in here, the Solar Forest, which connects to the abandoned mine. Which then goes to Goldenrod Cape, which connects back to Goldenrod City. She's not a drug dealer yet. You have a little rappel steps indicator. I made it so you can fly in between Johto and Kanto. Team Rocket on a bike is fun. You can't get into the radio tower if you're in the Team Rocket uniform. This is one I am in the process of making, so it doesn't really have a proper name yet. Repels have been buffed, yes. So the max repel is now 1,000 steps. We have Grubway, the sandwich shop. Which increases your shiny rates. A bunch of moves have been rejigged as well. I added a new little area in the east of Kanto with its own farm with Tauros. So used to SuperMON runs at the moment and going into the bag for fly. Yeah, we'll go here actually. A new connection to Mahogany. You can find a nugget there. I wonder what this is about. Well, they've left. Let's return one of the cows at least. And how could I forget? Gonna stick on a rappel again. I don't want to show too much yet either, so this'll probably be the last areas I show, but no more Viridian Hedge Maze. That is 3 drill, by the way. Cerulean Cave will be open eventually. Bloody hard ledges. Placed by fossils. The museum is fully open as you would hope it would be. Cinnabar is back. Including all of the Switch puzzles. Surge is still regular team for now. I've not started with the parties. Diary entries are the same, yes. Blaine's gym is back to how you remember it. Complete with puzzles. The snow globe. No, you can't fight Blue straight away. Blue is standing outside of Cinnabar Gym having a chat with Blaine. So in case you missed this... Come on, rewind. I can take that snow globe and take you to a special island. Would you like to go there? And this is how you face Pokemon like Articuno. And much like in Crystal Clear, soft reset chaining works if you want to get a shiny of it. Yeah, that was an awful lot of fun to code. And it's something that, when it's done, I will be happy to show it off on stream fully. So, the starters are changed. I'll tell you what, I'll show you one more thing. All of the traditional Gen 2 starters are catchable, yes. The starters in this are Jinx, Electabuzz and Magmar. Route 26 now has its own Pokemon Center as well. Elekid, Magby and Smoochum rather are the starters. You can only add 2 Pokemon in, so my friend at the time who was working on me with this really wanted Spheal in, so I put Spheal in. And I never picked the one I wanted in. This is the Route 26 battle facility. It has its own currency. And this is where you can buy your starters for the game. You can also buy useful items. And all of the trainers and teams down here are randomized. But that one's broken for some reason. I know why, it's because I've removed a bunch of teams. There we go. So I do need to redo the teams here. No, you do start with Pokémon. It's just this is where you can get extra starters, because they're not available in the wild. Some of the teams are the harder mons, some of the easier. But that's something I do need to finish off. But this battle facility is one of my proudest bits. I made a few little extra towns as well, and in the new towns, you get access to some new move tutors, because I've binned a lot of moves that weren't very good. In fact, here's the documentation for it. So if anyone wants to read through that at some point, I am still working on the SALAMENCE. It's had a couple of issues building. But I am hoping that in just a moment or two, I will be able to bring you a SALAMENCE all moves run. Oh, I want to run it. But this was a nice little midstream change. Oh, I'm silly, that's why it's not working. Welcome in, Slippy. I hope you're doing very, very well today. Title and thumbnail should have updated on YouTube. We get there in the end. It's building now, at least. Potentially not the end of our issues, but it's one step closer. Because I'm avoiding BRB screens now, it means I'm having to do it all very live. Let's have a look at the leaderboard again for a second, while I try and get this loaded. Just one more thing I need to do to get the overlay working with it now. Because at the moment it won't have any... It won't be having any info on the overlay. Which wouldn't be any good. Nearly there now. Yes, Meganium is in first. Meganium is the furthest we have got on stream. There we go. We get there in the end. Right, should we have a little think about moves? You're thinking about videos there, Slippy. Streams are completely different, and this is a completely different challenge. I'm a little bit concerned as to why the Nuzlocke overlay isn't working. And that'll be why. This is our first backport, so expect things to go wrong. But once we iron out the issues on one, we hopefully never have to worry about them again. We've only just got there, Kanbei, so feel free to suggest moves. I'm going to have a look at the learn set myself. Unlike with most runs, I don't actually know what the learn set is until now. Yeah, I think Flamethrower is a given. I think Earthquake as well. You can see, yes, Dragon Claw is backported. I'm half tempted, you know, by Headbutt. I am going to try and make it. In fact, let's try that command out. I added a new command that I completely forgot about. Exclamation mark can learn. And it will tell you, for the challenge runs and generations we do, whether a Pokemon can learn it. My worry about Crunch is it's running on Special, and while we have 110 in Special, we have 135 in Physical. I do think Headbutt is a good idea. Exactly. Earthquake is super effective against all the ghosts we'll encounter. I'm curious as to why Rollout, because I don't see Rollout as a good move for... Return's banned. Return is not in the SuperMON challenge. It has it on the list, but that is a mistake. And just in case I did forget it on the back ports, I have coded Return to have the same effect as Splash. Unfortunately, we can't learn Thunderbolt. But Kanbei, seeing as this was your very kind Super Chat request, I am very happy to go with whatever learn set you want. I have also just cleared everyone's used Pokemon on the request queue. So if you do exclamation mark addmon, just like that, you can add a Pokemon to the queue and we'll get round to it at some point. I am leaning towards Earthquake, Flamethrower, Dragon Claw, and Headbutt if I was running it on my own for a video. If it's a backport we have done, then yeah, it will include backports. We don't have Deoxys yet. We do have Gardevoir, so that would be without the brackets. I might have to manually add it though, because I think at the moment I'm still just checking for Gen 2 Pokemon. I've added that to the list manually, Deadpool. There we go. So Gardevoir and Mew have been added to the list. I will try, probably not in time for Thursday, but I will try over the weekend to make a much smarter queue, because at the moment this one's cobbled together with the Giftmon stuff, the gift lock. And that's something else I want to fix, the lack of spaces in the queue. I nicknamed it Salem because I needed to nickname it for the overlay to work. Salem was also the name of my first black cat. I love that little kitty. Twitch, while we are deciding moves, I'm just going to run a short ad break. YouTube, no adverts for you that I control. I'm still undecided about Gen 1 TMs for backports. Very much a fan of Sabrina the Teenage Witch's pet cat. Well, technically not a pet. Mincemeat, I like it. We haven't picked our moves yet. You're just going to have to deal with a slightly broken overlay for a second. There we go. Mincemeat is the nickname. Because this is a new series and a new concept, we're going to bounce around with ideas like, do we want shooter moves, etc. I think we will do it. Penny's dropped, Slippy. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how long it takes for the penny to drop, as long as the penny does drop. By the way, I'm only going to ask this once. If you are having a good time here, please like the stream. It does help YouTube let people know that I'm not the worst streamer in the world. Might be the second worst, but I'm definitely not the worst. I do also think it's worth... Thank you for whoever just liked there. I got a notification about that one. That doesn't normally happen. I do also think it's worth trying to think about potential roadblocks for this learn set. I'm the same. I prefer watching streamers where the community feels cozy. Like, we feel like an actual community here. I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, we were pushing 100 viewers at a time, and as much as I enjoyed the revenue, I much prefer having, say, call it 20 to 40 viewers is my ideal amount. Enough where the chat is conversational, but I'm not having to catch up all the time. So say hypothetically we go for Flamethrower, Earthquake, Headbutt, and Dragon Claw. Let us dig out the type checker. That's not it. Let us dig out the actual type checker. So, Flamethrower, Earthquake, Headbutt, Dragon Claw. Oh, wait, no, it's fire, normal, ground, dragon. This is a SuperMON run. We're currently in the planning stage. Can we one-shot Price with that? We've got 2 times super effective for all of his Pokemon, I do believe. Well, one of his Pokemon. What about his Water Ice? I reckon we should be able to get through Price. So the concept of this challenge is we pick a Pokemon, we give it 4 moves and 1 life. We play with a hard-coded level cap throughout, and we see just how far through Pokemon Crystal we can get. We will score points depending on how far we get. This is what the points look like. And then at the very end of the run, we tot up the points and we stick it on our SuperMON leaderboard. This challenge was made by a wonderful person in our community called Matthias, and we are having a lot of fun doing it. If you go to the website trainersquidgy.com, you can download the patch if you want to try it yourself. SALAMENCE doesn't get Surf in Gen 3. The learn set was pulled directly from Gen 3 for this. So are we thinking Flamethrower, Earthquake, Headbutt, and Dragon Claw? I'll put Flamethrower and Earthquake on now because we do seem to have committed to those. I think Dragon Claw is also locked in now. And then I do reckon Headbutt's at least worth a try. Because we've got 100 in speed, and it might be the key to helping out if we can flinch at least. Now, usual disclaimer applies. This is a backport. This is our first backport we have ever tried with a SuperMON challenge. Things can and probably will go wrong. We will just deal with those things going wrong as and when. Also, don't want this palette. We'll make it morning again, so it's easier on the old eyes and matches the overlay colours. I'd be more concerned if nothing went wrong as well, because that would mean something invisible has gone wrong. At least when it's visible, we know how to fix it. Oh, there's something that's gone wrong. Level cap set to 0. For some reason. Why is that on 0? Try this. There we go. There's our one thing that can go wrong. That's why it's best not to trust AI with those kind of things. AI likes to lie. They went to the Lance School of Facts. You know what? I'm going to break tradition today. This is the first time I think our rival has not been called triple question mark. Ooh, slacking's a good shout. I wish YouTube would have let you commit to the bit there and call yourself triple question mark. Yeah, slacking's a really good shout for this. I mean, we could do a week of S Pokemon. I could get slacking's backport done for next stream, which will hopefully, providing I'm not completely messed up on my sleep, will hopefully be same time on Thursday. Obviously, there is a big asterisk with stream times because it all depends on when I'm sleeping and when I'm awake. Yeah, I really want to play slacking now. You've planted the seed in my head of wanting to do a Pokemon in the SuperMON run. It's like we won't need return for it. And it gives me an excuse to clean up the slacking sprite as well. Sleep will always come first, Gemma. I reckon we've come to the right choice on the moves. There we go. Next set of 3 points on the board. Zephyr Badge acquired. Forgotten which way round I put this command. Let's try that. See if I've got this broken or not. There we go. They're all the moves that Electabuzz can learn for the SuperMON challenge. I wanted to try and have some little commands like that to help us out with learn sets. Because quite often we're like, can this Pokemon learn this move? Can it not learn this move? And so why not just have a little command that can read from our overlay files and tell us? I know, if only we had Aerial 8 this run. Having said that, we would then be cursing when we got to Jazz. Yes, it can learn Cross Chop as an egg move. Did we ever do egg move, Jinx, Electabuzz, and Magmar? I always run those lines in a trio, by the way. At least for the middle stages. I thought, oh, it turns just normal type moves, doesn't it? Into flying. For some reason I thought it turned every move into flying. Look at that, 43 in attack already. Look at that, 47 in attack already. I should really give early bike in this game as well. I think that would be useful. Albert was easy. I have a feeling we're in slow here for our experience group, so we'll do full trainers. I'm going to put the option in next time I update this patch, which will only be in a couple of days or so. I will put in an option for early candy jar from Professor Elm's aid there in Violet. I'm enjoying the grind myself, though, in SuperMON. It's nice to actually put in a grind in a Pokemon game, as opposed to with our multi-Pokemon party Nuzlocke, where I do Candy Jar just to save time in production. And then in time solo runs, you're never ever going to be underleveled. I picked up what you were putting down there, Kanbei, don't worry. Up to 15 we go. It's still strange not worrying about the timer. I've got to record a couple of timed runs soon, though, and I am a little bit nervous about it. For Pokemon whose egg moves are a little bit daft, it is still a nice opportunity to give them a second chance at a better time. Hiker Anthony gives us the levels we need to get up to our next level cap. Quick PP heal. Chat with Kurt. We'll buy some stuff and we will go into the well. Mega Punch and Rolling Kick are a bit naff as well, aren't they? There we go, first rocket section done. Up to 6 points now because we saved Kurt. Cross Shop's always fun to use. I think it was our original Machamp run where Cross Chop did not miss once. Best of luck for Friday, Gemma. That is true, the 80% accuracy will hurt. So we've just got to hope it happens like Machamp, where it felt like we were on the old secret potion with how often it was hitting. Just set fire to that Paris and casually walk away. We'll take on Bugsy. Second gym leader, bug type specialist. Also a specialist in not winning this battle. I did backport no guard. That's exactly what it was. I backported it before I knew what backporting was. It is hard to believe that there was a time when I ran this channel where I didn't even know the disassembly existed. There we go, Rival 2 done. Up to 11 points on the board. We will reunite this bird with its human once more. Get the scythe. And we can get through this tree. And we can also make fun of the green headman staring at the tree. Look at this. We can headbutt without your help. You are now no longer useful in this run. Look, we can even headbutt a Weedle if we want. The Abra is actually some very good special stat experience. I am fancying playing this one slightly riskier. Because we are a pseudo-legendary. What is it that Pokemon try and call it? Powerhouse Pokemon. We're one of those. So in theory, we should be able to breeze through this challenge. I'm thinking ahead to April Fools as well, and I've got this idea of trying to do Shedinja in SuperMON. I think that would be an absolutely terrible idea. Forget that Lickitung has cut. Like, he's gone out of his way to teach cut to his Lickitung. Yeah, I don't think we'd make it past Abe at all. And considering the experience group we're in, it will be a complete and absolute grind. When we start running some of the, should we call them less good Pokemon? I'm thinking the Igglybuffs of this world. I'm wondering who the first will be to get 0 points initially. What are the chances of Clefairy metronoming the same move we used for her? Yeah, Magikarp would probably get 0 points. Metronome only is in the game, so they are compatible with each other. Ostensibly, anything that's in the challenge run base is in the code for this at the very least. I think it's 1 in 251 subtract the few metronome accept moves. Juggler Owen has incredibly good ball control, looking at all these Voltorb. Oh, we're out of Headbutt PP. Not quite sure what you mean there, Gemma. Do you mean where all the enemies have their full learn set to play with as well? Because while that would be a fun idea, the amount of coding that would go into that. Probably be able to get one done every 3 or 4 weeks. If we have to manually edit all of the opposing team's Pokemon. It would be a very intense coding session, but would still be fun to try at some point. We've already done the gym. We were coming back. For the old squirty bottle, thank you for joining the challenge. Food tubes. Do I have the pack opening up on this? I do not. You did get an Amphi. You got a Shedinja as well. We were just talking about Shedinja. If you're on YouTube and wondering what on earth was those little cards that were opened there, I also stream on Twitch, and on Twitch we have a channel point redeem for opening your own card pack. How much do we do against the Umbreon? Over half. Not bad. One shot the Umbreon, nice to see. PP heal time, and we'll go straight into Rival 3. Ground is such a good type against the Rival. Apart from against his Zubat, obviously. Damageless Rival number 3. Welcome in, Anderson. I hope you're doing very, very well today. This is probably my least favourite gym in all of Gen 2. Not because it's hard or anything, it's just so repetitive. Like, was there any need for all of these same Pokemon over and bloody over? Let's take on Morty and his ghost types. There we go, Morty is down. I wish I could take credit for the idea, Anderson, but this is all Matthias's wonderful work. I might have coded it to make it stream and video friendly, but Matthias is the genius behind this idea. I must remember that in SuperMON, it's worth taking on the extra trainers. Derek and Ruth were there. Equally as bad Pikachu. For some reason, when I was younger, I always used to think that water resisted dragon. And I don't know why, because water resists steel. And that's the only thing I can think of, like a semi-obscure offensive type being resisted by water. Let's start getting up the lighthouse, shall we? It has been a lot of fun to do the SuperMON content. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the timed runs. But this has just been a completely new twist on a very fun idea anyway of solo running. By the way, don't forget, HM friends, after we have finished stream today, there will be a fresh SuperMON video out. So if you do want to catch any of the videos early, you can join the channel membership, become a HM friend. And then as soon as the SuperMON videos are done, they get rendered, they have a very quick check by a couple of people. Make sure I've not said anything rude, crude or vile in the voiceovers. And then they are good to go for HM friends. SuperMON, at least at the moment, is my favourite way to play Pokémon Crystal. You have Ice Punch, mate. Why didn't you go for it? The black belt AI in this generation is absolutely terrible. Got a feeling that the mint berry might be the berry here to use. It's always a 50-50. If Hypnosis had landed, would have been very glad about that about that mint berry. Let's go and pick some bits up now. Can probably actually afford to do our first vitamin shop in a moment as well. I know, why can't we fly on the bloody SALAMENCE? We can't learn TMs at all, so we are going to get rid of everything in this pocket. We'll get 3 calcium, and 3 protein to get us started. I mean, isn't the law that SALAMENCE has tried for years as a Bagon and a Shelgon to try and fly, and that's the only thing it wants to do? And now that we have it, we're not teaching it fly. We're kind of mean, actually, aren't we? We are awful human beings and awful Pokemon trainers. So is Jasmine, so we're in good company. There we go, one Steelix completely incinerated. Isn't it incinerate a good word? Then, like, incinerators are so bloody grim. Back where I grew up, there was an incinerator nearby, and it stank to high heaven. Although I'm not really focusing on stat experience, this is a really easy battle. Some good stat XP. I don't want to count my chickens before they've hatched with this one, but it does feel like a Pokemon like SALAMENCE ostensibly plays itself in the run. Like, there's very little thinking that has to happen in a run like this. Double Leah, that's fine by us. Right, let us get through Mahogany. We have to do it whether we want to or not. God, are we nearly at 5 already? We're 20 to 5. Time has flown today. You have tuned into the single most exciting part of the run, Matt, aren't you? Very, very happy you joined at the right time. The rockets are the best part of this run. I know, if only there was a ROM hack that let us dress as a rocket and then added little Easter eggs because you're dressed as a rocket. If only somebody coded that. After this rocket section, I will give my hands another break, and I do also need to run to the loo. Metagross wasn't in the plans, but we can easily make it part of the plans, especially because you're a HM friend. It would be a stream, though, as opposed to a pre-record. I'm trying to avoid backports on pre-records for the next few months, with the occasional 1 or 2 timed runs that I've got backlogged. I mean, I understand your typos, Kanbei, that's absolutely fine. As long as the general gist comes through, I don't think any of us can whinge. Yes, you can also get the Ultra Ball from the side of the wall, not just through the wall, on the bottom. Slow Experience Group is actually showing quite well the bad level curve in Johto in this one. Because we are only level 33. Now level cap is 40. We are over leveled for price though. You have defeat all rockets, you get like 1 and a bit levels in slow. In fact, I think I mentioned that in the Starmie one, didn't I? Spoilers for those of you who aren't HM friends. Starmie's a video coming out. Cannot wait for this rocket section to be over. I really do need the loo now. Like, really badly. Starmie run was fun. Obviously no spoilers, but had a lot of fun doing it. I think you could hear me smile throughout it, if that makes sense. Right, so we're at 27 points. And our next gym we have a quad weakness to. I am going to rush to the loo. I'll be back in a mo. The defeat to the Gyarados is exactly why I did it as a video. I'm back, by the way. Just going to give my hands a very quick rest on the controller again. Twitch, I'm going to run just a couple of minutes of adverts because pre-rolls are coming. So while I'm resting my hands because my thumb's hurting, I will run a very quick 2.5 ad break. YouTube, I cannot control the adverts anymore. They've taken that option away from me. That's actually part of the reason why I've stopped going to the BRB screen, because I no longer get control of the adverts on my stream. I wonder if I'm part of some A/B testing for it. But that's why I just keep the content going and don't go onto a screen when I take my little rest breaks. I say I'm taking a rest break, and then I cannot help myself but to try and make progress without using my thumbs. I know it's ridiculous that HM Friends don't get ad-free by default. It's the one big plus that Twitch has. It's why I multi-stream now. If you do want advert-free, and you've got like a Prime sub or something going on, then you can watch me over on Twitch. Same if you've got Twitch Turbo. Yeah, that's the link to the Twitch stream. Exactly the same content. And if you shuffle between the two, hopefully you can miss adverts as well. Although I know that some of us are very annoyed at that purple site at the moment for showing us adverts and notifications for people we're not following. Thinking of that company, actually, the other day I got a notification from Amazon. Because, you know, it does that thing where, like, you've browsed for stuff and then on your phone it'll give you a notification thing saying, we think you'll like a new, and then something you've been looking at. For some reason, and I hadn't been looking at it, the other day I got one that was, we think you'd like a new crystal ball. No, I have never dabbled in anything like the types of crystal ball, sorcery, divination, whatever the technical term is. I've never dabbled in any of that at all. But I am now very curious, and it's planted the seed that maybe I should get a crystal ball. But I don't know if there's any kind of, like, meta for buying crystal balls. Like, does the price and build quality change it? The advertising machine has worked, and I'm trying hard to not to relent. Well, that's the thing, if I had the crystal ball, I could possibly then know if I needed a crystal ball. Anyway, we have a 4 times weakness to this gym. Twitcher back from the adverts. Let's give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? He leads with Seal. Icy Wind does a little bit, not too much. Aurora Beam hurts. But we one-shot the Piloswine. Glacier Badge acquired. No need to worry at all. Was keeping hold of the charcoal just in case. Yep, snowflakes did hurt on that run. In that gym. Can probably bin the charcoal. Excuse me, we can probably bin the charcoal for some money now. Because I don't think we'll be needing that little 10% boost anytime soon for our fire type moves. We'll burn through our regular repels. Then we'll swap to supers from now on. Why is it that when I'm not against the clock, I can do that top bit of the boulder fine? Then as soon as we do a timed run, I can spend 3 or 4 attempts trying to do it on the bike. Anything else in here we want to sell? Plenty of TMs again. The fact that you can get to this area after 7 badges and the wilds are still only level 23 is a bit shameful, really, isn't it? And in a moment we have the fun of yet more rockets, unfortunately. It's probably all the vitamin shopping we're going to do in this run. Let's get these bloody rockets done, shall we? It's going to be weird as well, actually, going into Claire with a super effective move. That happens so rarely for her Kingdra. I think once we get the pink bow as well, we'll hold that to try and buff up Headbutt's power slightly. So I do think having the option to flinch is incredibly useful. Yeah, the Dragon Fang will be usable. We'll probably hold on to that for Lance if we get that far. It'll be the Dragon Scale that we use, won't it? Thinking about it. Because they coded it wrong in Gen 2. There we go, the 6 rockets is done. Signifying roughly the 40% mark of the rockets. Oh, why am I trying to Earthquake against a bloody Zubat? Just melt everything instead. There is an item I've forgotten to pick up that I have just remembered, so I'll go and grab it now, so I don't forget. Also, take advantage of that Wild Tentacruel. I didn't think we'd need a repel, it's not that far. Time for Rival 4 now. Hopefully he won't scam us. Like he did in the last battle. Yep, Tentacle, Zubat of the Sea. Taking no chances against Rival 4 this time. Don't want a repeat of what happened to poor old SNORLAX. How have we been going for 3 hours already? It really does not feel like we've been live for 3. Time really is flying today. I've kept, at the moment in the ROM hack, by the way, the rocket section in. But I've really thinned out the number of grunts. So in Radio Tower, you face just over that you do in vanilla. Oh god, not again tonight. I'm sick of friggin' fireworks. Poor cat's been terrified all month. Been keeping the heating on and putting a hoodie. That's what I was looking for, but I was going to say a piece of top. You just got the wrong consonant, that's all, Kanbei. Yeah, I've put a hoodie in front of the radiator in the bathroom because the bathroom doesn't have any external windows. So at least the kitty has a space where he feels safe. Oh yeah, the rocket section would be infinitely more tolerable if they had more optionals. Misclicked there. But it's a Murkrow, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, all the radiators, barring the one in the bathroom, are turned off. Like, I will eat cheaper for a week if it means the cat feels safe. I'll lay my life on the line for that cat. You think Diglett would be the next SuperMON? We don't have plans for Diglett at the moment. But if you do want to add it to the queue, exclamation mark addmon followed by Diglett, and it will hopefully add itself to the queue. It's been a bit temperamental at the moment. So Dragonclaw did one-shot that level 37 Dragonair rather. Gives me some confidence for Claire. It's a little bit of insurance, though. We will hold a Pyrrhus Cure Berry. Three one-shots to get us started. And 4 one-shots to get us finished. SALAMENCE, you did well. Then we got this fella here for no good reason. You do love to see the one shot on the Kingdra. It doesn't happen too often, but we're always very happy when it does happen. It is very rare to see the one shot on the Kingdra without the crit. Normally you're looking at a strong normal type with Stab Return or a strong ground type with Stab Earthquake. Oh, you're 40 odd seconds behind, Kanbei. It's no bloody good. Let's buy a bunch of Max Repels now. No, we don't need to dip in. We're not doing old pre-Kanto routing squidge. Oh, I'm glad you're not on a 40-second delay anymore. And that delay by me might have been intentional there. Got flamethrower, so it makes sense to take on Megan this time. I think this is Megan. It is Megan. Rena's always a nice one to do as well. Double Starmie and Nido Queen. Good experience and very good stat experience to boot. Every time we get Joist, we could be in another dimension and Joyce would still see us. There we go, Beth taking us up to the level cap. Did I even pick up the max ether then? Max elixir? No, I didn't. I just did a victory lap for no reason. Flexing on Beth there. Arrival 5 time. Leads with Sneasel. Sends out a Golbat next. We have been confused. Thank goodness for the Gen 2 miss there. This run could have easily fallen apart. And if that confusion had lasted longer, things could have gotten pretty bloody dicey. Right, here are our stats going into the league. We are level 42 with 157 HP, holding the Perscure Berry with Earthquake, Dragonclaw, Headbutt, and Flamethrower. 150 in attack, 99 in defense, 128 in special attack, 103 in special defense, and 115 in speed. Those are the out of battle stats. We will get a big buff in battle when we face our first league member, Will. But now I want you to make some predictions. Do we think we are going to make it the entire way through the league? If we do, who's going to be our hardest battle? And if we don't, where are we going to lose? FoodTubes on Twitch is saying we'll make it easy and they're all going to be sweeps. A lot of people on YouTube think Karen could be the issue. I am wondering, you know, whether we should go and grab a second Bitterberry and double Bitterberry, one for Will, one for... In fact, do we even have a Bitterberry? Or did we use it? We've used it. So we're going to need a Bitterberry for Karen. And do we think Lance is going to be any issue at all? Do we think his Dragonite could pose a threat? Seeing as we are mutually weak to each other. Does Aerodactyl outspeed? More than likely not, I would say. Aerodactyl's got 136 in speed. Out of battle, we have 115, so in battle, we will outspeed. Yes, that experience is very, very busted. I am worried about Will, though, I've got to be honest. If we can't one-shot his Xatu, we will end up confused. Crit Rock Slide from Machamp would be very scary thinking about it. Dragon Scale, thank you. Forgot that. This is why I'm glad you're all here. So I don't forget items. That's why I'm also taking my time at places like the League. Because we're not against the clock. We can try and at least plan a little bit. And try and play it safe. Of course, it does have to be all the way around the bloody loop-de-loop. Oh wait, it's not the Dragon Fang we need, is it? It's the Dragon Scale. I can't remember how to get to that in Mount Mortar. This could be fun. And in case you're wondering the reason why we're going for the Dragon Scale, it's there is a glitch in Generation 2 where the Dragon Scale is coded for the effects of the Dragon Fang, and the Dragon Fang is literally useless. So let's see if I can remember my way around the internals of this area. It's been a while. That's the rollout, TM. Don't need an escape rope. There it is. We'll get rid of that. Right, third time's the charm. If we're missing anything else, it doesn't matter. Let's get ourselves into the Pokémon League. We're committed now. This is our first league member. This is Will. Psychic type specialist, leads with a Xatu. Oh dear. We cannot one-shot the Xatu. However, we can flinch the second Xatu. That's Will done. On to Koga. Might as well flamethrower his first 2 Pokemon. Swap to Earthquake for the Muck. Wrong move. Meant to go for Dragon Claw. Koga's done. Up next is Bruno. Yep, thankfully only one double team there. Onyx has no Spadef, so Dragon Claw is probably the play. Fish for the flinch on the Hitmonchan. Double flinch, double flinch. Triple flinch. Bruno, you are pathetic. Right, so we have done everything we can for Karen. Yeah, the RNG has tried to apologise for the Snorlax run. HP up trick hasn't worked and we've been double sand attacked. Oh dear. Get rid of the Gengar. Get rid of the Murkrow. Houndoom going for crunch is what we want. And we are through Karen. Got the right rare candy usage there. Aim hacks indeed. I am just wondering though, if we can't one-shot the Dragonite, are we better off running the Perscure Berry over the Dragon Scale? I think because we don't know, it's going to be safer to run the Perscure Berry, isn't it? Because that gives us 2 chances for Thunder Wave, as opposed to just 1. What do we think? Because if you all think we are going to be better off boosting our dragon moves, I'll do that. Yeah, that's the issue. It's only good if we can turn a range into a guarantee. And we don't know if we are ranging. Those Dragonite have 111 in special defense. So fairly bloody bulky. I mean, look at all the stat experience we've got. And we're at 123. The last Dragonite has 118. I think it can live a boosted Dragon Claw, if I'm honest. We're only a, what, 80 power move. He's going to send his Blizzard Dragonite out first. That is one of the 47s as opposed to one of the 50s. Just flinch easy. We'll go in with the Purrs-Cure Berry, we'll see. $120 because of stab, you are correct there. Ooh, Aerodactyl's out next. Oh, Rock Slide hurt. It didn't live a Dragon Claw. I've misclicked. Sugar. My button pressed twice. We're pretending that didn't happen. Although now I feel bad that we crit. There we go. That's a legit win. Do we count that as a loss? Do we count that misclick? I'll leave it up to all of you. Because technically we did lose there. But it was a genuine misclick. Misclick doesn't count. I'll take that. I think it did very well not to swear at that misclick as well. Well, that does mean we are getting a minimum of 64 points for SALAMENCE. And this is the furthest we have been in SuperMON on stream. I'm just going to give my hands another quick break, because I want to keep going a little bit longer. I like your logic there, Ryan. Now, let's think about Kanto, because if you've not seen any of the videos, we're going to do all of the Kanto storyline first, and then we'll do the gyms in whatever order we feel like. So I think we save Misty until just before Blue, because she's got an Ice-type move. I reckon Erica should be fairly easy to do straight off the bat. Obviously, same with Blaine and Janine. Brock should be fine. I think we've got enough physical attack for Sabrina. We've got Earthquake for Surge, yep. That is true. Red only has one Blizzarding Pokemon in Gen 2, and at least it's not Stab, unlike in Gen 4. Because he has Lapras in place of Espeon, doesn't he, in Gen 4? Exactly, and we don't need to worry about the weather for hail. If anything, with him using Sunny Day, he's just going to help us. So I'll tell you what, let's get Surge done now before we do the story, because he is in the neighborhood. And he will be easy. So for a quick set of 3 points, we will take Surge on. It's nice to see Surge's regular order for once. There we go, Surge done. Up to 51. Thunder Badge acquired. We'll get one of our 2 Cantonian rare candies in here. Didn't get caught by triple spinner. I tell you what, Headbutt has been a lot more useful than I thought it would be when we stuck it on the learn set initially. I thought it'd be handy, but I didn't think it would potentially get us the win in a couple of battles. And I think the other thing we weren't factoring into Dragon Claw was Claire's badge boost. Headbutt was key for Bruno. Feeling very happy that we had Headbutt on the learn set. I think without those flinches, there would have been a real chance of us going down. I am so glad that this was Gen 2 and not Gen 4, because if that was Gen 4 Hitmonchan with Ice Punch, it probably would have ended the run all on its own. That's the Kanto storyline pretty much done, by the way. We get to see 3 Drill, friend of the channel. We hardly get to see 3 Drill on stream these days, but here he is. Giving us some lovely experience points there. Thank you, 3 Drill. I love Hitmonchan, it's my favourite of the Hitmons. I wish I could remove the Nugget Bridge, but I try and make these runs as close to vanilla as possible. I don't think we are quite fast enough for Gen 2 Fly anyway. Because Gen 2 Fly isn't as strong as later Gen Fly. If we had, like, I think it's Gen 4 or 5 they buffed it. If we had Fly from those gens, I'd be Happy to say we could curse and fly as a main strat. But with fly only being 70 in Gen 2, I think it'd be slightly too verging on risky. I will plonk this backport on the website though, and feel free to give it a go because I'm genuinely curious to know how that will go. The more people who do SuperMON challenges, the more info we get for things like that. Don't need that calcium anymore. It's definitely worth a shout. Because you can get the sharp beak as soon as you defeated Whitney. Discord's usually the place to go for things like posting results, Kanbei. I know you don't use it too often though. Up to 73 points, about to make it up to 76. If we ever go down to Janine in one of these runs, you have permission to mock me for at least 12 months. There we go, 76 points. So we've done Surge, Brock, Blaine, and Janine. You've got to get a Macargo or a Shuckle to her in the first place. What other crap do we have in the bag that we're not going to use anymore? Like, Macargo's got to get past Claire. Well, you'll soon find out, Kanbei, if you're abstaining from Pringles for a day, because HM Friends are getting a Macargo video as soon as this stream has finished. Let's take on Erica now. $79 points. Let's do Sabrina. Up to 82. And now we've got Nugget Bridge. Aren't we the privileged ones? Meganium, I think, lost at will, but I could be mistaken there. We should be able to figure it out from number of points, really. We'll be seeing the leaderboard in a few minutes, regardless of what happens. So we'll be able to figure out then. I could have sworn we spoke to the chairman of the Pokémon fan club, but maybe our bag was full. So we can get ourselves up to the next level cap. Right now, there is a chance we go down to Misty because of Blizzard. We shall have to see. She leads with Golduck, Dragonclaw one-shots. Lapras is up next. I'm not confident of a one-shot, so I'm going to headbutt. Rain Dance, we win. She clearly mustn't have seen a one-hit KO. It was one of the last things we do in Kanto. She mustn't have seen a one-hit KO with Blizzard there. So that means at minimum now we are getting to see blue. Get rid of Pidgeot. Sandstorm's annoying. Let's hope for Rain Dance. Thank you. He is blue dabba-dee dabba-die. I wonder if this is a range. And we just low rolled there. Oh, maybe not. I mean, we'll get another chance to see. Oh, it is a range. So whatever happens now, we have seen every single trainer that we need to in SuperMON. I'm just going to swap to the leaderboard while I do the candy jarring because it's an awful lot of flashing. And obviously we don't want to have all that flashing on screen. There we go. Just know if you are sensitive to flashing, that could have been pretty nasty. So for things like that, I will try and remember to do them off screen. 50 points for Meganium. So here we are at red. Level 81 with 302 HP. Holding the leftovers with Dragon Claw, Flamethrower, Headbutt, and Earthquake. 289 in attack, 192 in defense, 248 in special attack, 199 in special defense, 223 in speed. Remember, those are the out of battle stats. We'll get a buff in battle when we face red. We have 27,500 HP stat experience, 42,000 attack, 27,000 defense, 26,000 in speed, and 41,000 in special for our stat experience. That is what we ended up with at the end of this challenge. And I don't think there's much prep work we can do for red, really, is there? I think we've just got to go for it. Earthquake Pikachu. Dragon Claw. Or maybe Headbutt turn 1 the Espeon. I am actually going to give a Cure Berry here. Because I'm worried about Snorlax's Body Slam paralyzing us into Blastoise's Blizzard. If Snorlax comes out before. We'll have to see turn Pokemon order, but we're just going for it. So we'll one-shot Pikachu, we'll guarantee it with Earthquake. Blastoise is next. He goes for Rain Dance. And we knock it out in 2. This is good. Probably Earthquake the Espeon, that's the highest chance of a one-shot. Ooh, what do we do with the Snorlax? Earthquake again? Earthquake again. He wouldn't have seen the one-shot, which is why he didn't go for Blizzard. Wing attack is meaningless. Venusaur next. Just for the flex. Can we flinch? We can. We've got the wrong number of points on screen. We're supposed to have 100. We don't have 93 points. That's a lie. We have 100 that falls out the box. That was a fairly easy run. I need to fix the overlay, but we did do it. I need to fix the overlay so it does what it does with the level cap. It may be a backported Pokemon. It may be a pseudo-legendary. But it's our first over the line on stream. Puts Tyranitar to shame, honestly. I thought it'd be harder than that as well. Not having a strong stab. Not having a strong stab definitely could have hindered us more, but having Earthquake and Flamethrower, 100 a day and 95 base power apiece, really did benefit us in the end. Have we really been going for nearly 4 hours? How have we been going for almost 4 hours already? Thing is, I kind of don't want to end stream because it doesn't feel like I've done a full stream yet. But then I also don't want to get too tired either. I don't know what to do. Do I be sensible and call it there for today? Tell you what, I'm not going to do any more SuperMON today. But let's at least have a little more of a look around this. Just for 5 minutes or so to wind down. So the battle facility became the inverse battle facility here. And this is where you can buy the Gen 2 starters. I had a lot of fun today. It's been my favourite stream in a very, very long time. These sandwiches boost shiny rates, in case you're wondering what those sandwich shops are about. A lot of moves have been replaced as well. If we go into the second floor of the Pokémon Center, the time changer actually originated from this ROM hack. You get an NPC who tells you how many times your Pokémon has fainted. Nurse Joy auto-turns you, so you don't get caught in a loop if you're playing with Turbo. Running shoes were fun to add. I decided against the friendship NPC. Mass outbreaks happen. And they happen with different methods as well. Keep looking for the air balloon there. And you can soft reset them. And they work much like in Scarlet and Violet. So there's a set number of Pokemon in the outbreak and they have boosted shiny odds the more you clear. And you even have the little messages to go along with it. I put a lot of hard work into this hack, so it would be nice to finish it off. There's inbuilt Nuzlocke mode as well. And to prevent soft locks, you get gift Pokémon that'll do your HMs. I do need to work on Mount Moon and Cerulean Cave and all this part of Kanto. Nugget Bridge changed. So you have an actual gauntlet here that you can rebattle. See, I did a lot to try and improve quality of life in Johto. So you never know. Give it another couple of years and we might have that finished as a ROM hack. However, I think for today, I do need to shoot off, get some food, get some sleep. HM friends, in about 3 minutes time, we will release Magcargo to the world. At least for the HM friends. If you're not a HM friend, your next video release is going to be tomorrow at 2 PM United Kingdom time. That is going to be Persian only on a regular timed run. Our next SuperMON run is going to be Friday for pre-recorded videos where we've got Ride-On. I will hopefully be back same time, same place on Thursday, so 2 o'clock United Kingdom time on Thursday. If you don't want to miss it, feel free to follow on Twitch or of course subscribe on YouTube. But I hope you all have an absolutely glorious and wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Kanbei, thank you for the $5 and the 31 months, and I will catch you all very, very soon.